Hello, Eunice, once again. I just wanted to talk to you about a very interesting topic, Nimue peels. But I remember once saying, so what peels can we do? And then someone corrected me. In Nimue, we don't call peel a peel. It's a skin resurfacing treatment. And I asked why. And then someone told me, well, because we respect the barrier and we are different from traditional peels. So then I thought, wow, this is so interesting. And I wanted to especially ask you to talk to us about that.
So I want to call it a success story of a Nimue skin. Because if you had to look at what some of those peels can do to your skin out there, it is scary. It's frightening. You can see a lot of visible skin literally peeling off, and you can see severe frosting. There's two faces that's even recognizable on the slide of Cameron Diaz and at the bottom, Tori Spelling. And why I put them on the slide is the pressure with peeling as such in the industry, because our clients are reading magazines, they are listening to blogs, and everybody still talks about a peel. So I want to differentiate for you today why we're not a peel and white safe to have Nimue. Now, we are all influenced, right? We are influenced by the people we love, our friends, our family, and some are really influenced by celebrities and what celebrities are doing to their skin. Kardashians, Cameron Diaz, J-Lo, anybody that they maybe look up to. And then we live in a world of influencers. When I started in the industry 30 years ago, there was no such term. There were no influencers. There were magazines and newspapers and a bit of television, Now there are influencers making a living on influencing people in a certain direction. And your colleagues, we listen to our colleagues as well. So there's so many people, our clients and your clients' clients are exposed to have to make a decision, what peel are they having? Now, what is a peeling treatment? It is to resurface. It's to make the skin new. But, there could be side effects if you do the wrong one. You can have actual peeling, severe erythema, frosting, PIH. There are so many factors to consider before you decide what you are going to have done to your skin. But there's more. Let's have a look first at skin health. Now, and I'm sure all of your clients and you have heard of our term skin health. So Nimue is not a normal dermocosmeceutical. I always like to train people first in saying we're a skin health brand because we focus on the health of the skin. Why? It's the biggest organ of your body. My question is, if you have to choose between a treatment for your heart or your liver or your kidneys, are you going to look at the healthiest option, the best option to improve medically and to live a long life? Or are you going to look for the harshest option to have an instant improvement in that organ? So why think any differently for the skin? It is the biggest organ. It is this wonderful organ that protects us. It's a first defense we offer against disease and against infection, and it protects your internal organs as well. The skin has a major role to play in ourselves and our body health. So having a healthy skin cannot be overemphasized. We cannot say, oh, no, it's okay. If you have a healthy skin, that's all right, but there's no but here. So for Nimue, our focus first and foremost is creating a healthy skin, and then we can, in fact, look at peels and skin resurfaces. Now, why would people want to go? Why do we actually need a resurfacing treatment? What would trigger your clients to say, I want a skin resurfacing? But I think in most people's terminology, it will be, I want a peel. So let's have a look at this. What is it? A chemical peel or resurfacer will improve your appearance. It really does. If you use the correct product, if you use the correct ingredients and the correct brand. So basically, it's a restorative cosmetic procedure, and we don't often take it seriously enough. to see it as a cosmetic procedure. Because what does it do? Why do I want it? It can reduce signs of aging. It can improve your skin color, your clarity, your skin tone, your texture. It can stimulate new collagen formation. It can stimulate fibroblast and functioning. It can actually stimulate healthy cell growth. It will reduce discoloration, so all of our hyperpigmentation disorders will benefit from a resurfacing or a peel as such. And even our acne skin, it clears out breakouts, plus it will increase hydration. So we can see that there was a huge need from all of our clients worldwide for peeling or for resurfacing. But as a skin health brand, we have to take responsibility in that. So I would like to call us a responsible skin health brand. We aim to achieve a healthy skin, a radiant skin. But you cannot do that. I mean, you know our promises in Nimue. We do restoration, rejuvenation, antioxidation, and protection. But you cannot, in fact, achieve that if you don't improve the functions of the skin, if you don't create a balance, if you don't work with a resurfacing or peeling system that fights against free radicals and that offer you absolutely optimum protection. So with our peels or resurfaces, and why I say both, we actually still have both. It's really synergistically formulated to deliver the result we want for a skin health brand, for a responsible skin health brand with very, very little, if no side effects and no downtime. So that is why we rather prefer to call ourselves a resurfacing treatment, because we look at our 4 promises, our principles. We want to create balance. We want to have antioxidation. We want to restore, but we do that through improving the functions of the skin. However, we still have 2 treatments that we call peels. We have the glycolic acid treatment, so the 35% glycolic acid peel. So that remained a peel. It is a safe word to use without glycolic acid because it's so well formulated. And then, of course, TCA that we are only distributing to certain countries is also still known as a peel. All our other treatments are skin resurfacing treatments. Now, what is the answer then? If you look at what Nimue wants to give, what clients want, what we want to avoid in resurfacing the skin, how can we say we resurface and we don't do any aggressive peels on the skin? And that comes to that lovely saying of Nimue, maximum stimulation with minimum irritation. That's Nimue. We will give you the absolute best result, the absolute most needed stimulation for where you need it in your cells, in your different layers of your skin, but we will not create irritation that will lead to post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, frosting, and physical literal peeling of the skin. How do we do that? Why are we resurfacing? What makes Nimue so unique is first and foremost our barrier. You cannot have a successful peeling brand. You can't have a successful product range if your focus is not first and foremost the barrier. A brand must first repair the barrier function of each and every client. Maintain the function. Keep it in a repaired condition before they can actually even consider doing resurfacings or peelings on the skin. And that's been a very big focus of Nimue for many, many years. And I know some of your clients have been with Nimue even longer than what I have, and I've been there 10 years. But look at years ago when we launched the Element Barrier. The Element Barrier was one of the very first products we focused on to repair the barrier of the skin. So what is this barrier? It is a layer on your skin, and it's known as your hydrolipic film. It consists of water, of sebum, and lipids, and it's our protection, our very first line of protection from all those external aggressors like, say, bacteria. So what the main function is of your barrier is to seal in water and electrolytes. If it doesn't seal in water and electrolytes, you're not going to have a healthy, glowing skin. You're not going to be well hydrated. Now, many of our clients, I would like to say 80% of the clients that we meet that come to us have an impaired barrier function. The skin is maybe inflamed. There's itchiness. There's dryness. There's extreme dehydration. And it's not maybe linked to a specific medical concern, which in any case causes barrier dysfunction. So what we need to do is to repair the barrier first, introduce a slow and gradual approach of our skin resurfacing systems, or peel if you use some of the peels, so that we can have a healthy barrier, and everything I do on a healthy barrier will have a longer lasting, more effective result in any case. The second or third thing we look at is our three-phase system. Our three-phase system in our resurfacing program works hand in hand. We repair the barrier. We use the correct product so that we can prepare the skin. Nimue wants to take an unhealthy skin and make it healthy. We want to create healthy skin worldwide, and we do that through this three-phase system. So remember, slow, gradual approach, introducing home care, introducing phase 2, which is Nimue, and of course, at different stages, introducing skin resurfacers so that we know when the barrier is healthy, when we've started to change the health program of the skin, to introduce more in-depth peels and specifically focused results. Now, our three-phase system, I think anybody that has Nimue is very familiar with the three-phase system. So we, in the past, years ago, what we did was, or said was, first of all, you only start with phase 1, a few weeks later, phase 2, and then phase 3, which was then the bioactive treatment. But we've changed that over the last 6 years or so, 6-7 years, where we said the bioactive, if your client is not interactive, is so safe to use that you can actually do it on a walk-in if you've analyzed the skin accurately and correctly, and you can start off with this treatment. I would still not start off with a treatment if I have a severe impaired barrier, even though it's a very gentle resurfacing treatment, because first repair your barrier, then every resurfacing you do after that will be more effective. So in the end, we all want results, but Nimue doesn't want results in an aggressive peeling way. We want results in a skin health way. The next reason why we want to claim skin resurfacing and a mild resurfacing is a combination, concentration, and strength of our products. Our pH, our golden pH, which makes resurfacing safe to use, which gives us the maximum stimulation of the skin, where we look at introducing the percentage of acids slow and gradually into the skin, so that we have a responsible approach to the skin peeling or the skin resurfacing systems out there. And then, of course, Nimue does more and more and more and more. So, of course, our barrier health, first repairing the barrier before doing resurfacing treatments, would be our TDSs, our superfluids, element barrier, hyaluronic acid, so many of our products that we can use to assist in a healthy barrier before we do our resurfacing. And then Neutralizer Plus. So now we're using a resurfacer. We have got a healthy barrier, or we're still busy improving the barrier, and we're doing a resurfacing treatment. Although we call it resurfacing and it's not a mild and aggressive treatment, it's still a resurfacing treatment. We are still stimulating different layers of the skin. We are still introducing an increase in cell turnover. We are working in deep layers to stimulate collagen and fibroblast stimulation. So on some clients, and I would actually go as far as to say on every client, when you neutralize, you could, on a client that previously suffered from an impaired barrier, now have an okay barrier improving. You can, by just using a neutralizer on that skin, when it spikes, you can cause a lot of inflammation. So we launched the Neutralizer Plus, and initially we launched it to use it with our resurfacers, our designer peels for hyperpigmentation and acne, and of course, environmentally damaged skin. But then we noticed that even if you do a glycolic treatment or bioactive, how effectively the Neutralizer Plus works. So you could, in fact, use it with any treatment because it actually calms down the skin and it takes the pH up slower. So there's less of a spike and less of a possibility of causing a bit of inflammation in the skin. And it makes the barrier basically repaired before the client goes home. Because what does a resurfacing treatment do? It kind of stimulates that barrier. It kind of impairs the barrier slightly. It rocks that barrier world because I want to work in the barrier. But why send the client home like that? Where if I can neutralize effectively with a resurfacer, I can send the client back with a repaired barrier after treatment. And then, of course, you can't have a successful resurfacing that's mild yet very effective without the correct delivery systems. And that is why we have so many, because we use specific delivery systems for specific ingredients, specific penetration enhancers to get these assets and ingredients that we work with where we want it to work. And then we have to look at certain assets that would be safe for basically all skins to use in all conditions, but specific assets that we also choose for specific concerns in our resurfacing process. Now, a very important aspect, Lydia, and clients of Australia is analysis. And I cannot stress this enough. To get the best result from your peels, to get the best results from your resurfacers, you need to really understand the skin that you're working on. You can't just assume her pigmentation, her impaired barrier, her aging lines, her acne is from traditional causes. There could be underlying causes. There could be underlying causes that could cause a reaction to the health of the skin. So in doing your analysis effectively, especially the very first skin analysis, that actually gives you the solution for the best treatment result, the best home care result. So we really want to stress this fact so that we know that you're going to choose the correct treatment for each client so that we can take that unhealthy skin. We can classify it effectively in Nimue, give that true promise of rejuvenation, restoration, antioxidation, and protection in this very responsible system, leading us to our wonderful resurfacing treatments to gain optimum skin health with a healthy barrier. So in Nimue, with our resurfacers, with our treatments, who and what can we treat? What makes it so effectively? We can basically, in our normal treatments, treat everyone. We can do a lovely therapeutic treatment even on interactive. And those of you that have introduced the thermal detox will know that we can even introduce thermal detox to an interactive client at some point. But we can actually treat any client in an effective way with our resurfacers and get results in a non-aggressive way on the skin, still looking at the barrier and obviously protecting the barrier. So what we have on offer is our 15% bioactive complex, our mild, gentle, really effective skin resurfacing treatment, our glycolic acid peel, still classified as a peel, 35% is just that perfect balance, to not have too high a percentage or too low that is best then used in combination with something else. Our smart resurfacer is, as you can see, resurfacer. It's focused absolutely on resurfacing the skin. And then our thermal detox and our micro needling treatment. I bring in micro needling because micro needling also stimulates certain functions of the skin that we need for certain improvements. And our designer peels, or rather called our designer skin resurfacing treatments. Now, those again that have been with Nimue for all these years and more will know that they had other names in the past. Lydia, I don't know if you can remember, but actually our SRC hyperpigmented was biolacto peel. Painter's Lake was the SRC problematic. So it used to be absolute peeling systems. And when we went back to the scientific research and we wanted to introduce a design appeal for environmentally damaged skin, we looked and discussed this with us scientists, and we said, we don't feel comfortable with the term peel because we're not peeling the skin. We've got a design appeal. We want you to customize a peel for environmental damaged skin into a resurfacer that is going to be mild and gentle, yet extremely effective. And when we look at our previous two peels with the new names, you guys will remember when we launched them or relaunched them, there was a difference in what the clients felt and experienced because we had to add and change a bit of ingredients and percentages that then made it really effective, but yet very safe and mild to use on the skin. And then, of course, we customize our treatments according to our clients' needs, according to the skin needs, which is going to enhance your resurfacing treatment by adding a TDS, a superfluid. Your mask will help to see how the reaction is going to be calmed after a skin resurfacing treatment. And of course, looking at aftercare and your home care options, because we work in a three-phase system, synergistically formulated to work together to make sure that you give your clients the absolute best treatment and results, non-aggressively, yet extremely effective. Now, we are using very many assets, different assets at different percentages, as you know, Lydia, to give our clients the ultimate skin resurfacing results. Do you have any questions at this point?
Not a question, just a comment. I remember Shane once said that when we asked him, so how would you summarize Nimue's philosophy? He said, it's a skin treatment brand with integrity. So I really loved it.
It's a responsible skin health brand with integrity.
Yeah.
And I know this is not a lesson on assets, but I want to just mention a few things on the assets because that shows you why we say what we say. If I don't understand how the acids in the resurfacers work, I cannot choose the correct treatment for my client. So it's very important that you understand why Nimue uses certain acids to be a resurfacer, considering, of course, our pH and our percentage and whether it's a leave-on peel or whether it is a peel that or resurfacer that needs to be neutralized. But we have to understand what they do in the skin and how safe and effective they are. And if we look at resurfacing, it starts with exfoliating. It starts with exfoliating your skin at home and us as therapists doing a really thorough, effective exfoliation in the cabin, in the salon. So our exfoliating enzymes, here we don't use acids, but we use really effective enzymes that are extremely mild. Now, the therapists will remember when you studied and you did your beauty or somatology, or there's so many terms for what we do. There were sessions where you had to make your own masks in the training. And you could bring things from home, honey, oats, papaya, pineapple, so many other homemade ingredients that you mixed and put on the skin. So papaya and pineapple has even been used in homemade remedies and homemade masks. So the pH here is 5.5. It is absolutely so near, if not the skin's pH. And that's what makes it so effective. It does not compromise the barrier. It does not disturb the barrier. It doesn't contain granules or microbeads that's disruptive to the skin and the environment. It is an enzymatic approach to gently and you know, because you use exfoliating enzymes, how effectively it starts that proteolytic effect on the skin. So this is a very important part to consider when you do resurfacing treatments, is your effective exfoliation. Our very first stable, wonderful treatment that we launched with Nimue, Nimue was the bioactive complex. And it was launched to resurface the skin gradually, progressively, because I'll do more than one treatment. I'll have a course of treatments, but it will penetrates quite deep into my epidermis to improve structural and functional activity, yet at a pH of 3, which makes it effective. And our glycolic acid peel at a 35%, which is not an aggressive percentage, at a pH of 3, where we still very gently, very superficially remove the dead skin cells, where we have a wonderful effect on the acne plugs in the skin, yet also work on hyperpigmentation. And you'll remember earlier I said we choose acids for many reasons. So if you look at glycolic acid, what does it do? It helps with anti-aging. It assists with hyperpigmentation. It assists with acne, yet we use it in a way that makes it resurfacing and not peeling. And then our SRCs, we've got the SRCs, our 3 designer resurfacing treatments that are focused on specific concerns. So here we look at our acids, and we can't just then use the same acids as bioactive treatments. So we've added specific acids where we look at the whole formulation at a pH of 3 to have a gentle effect on the skin, yet very effective in removing the dead skin cells to improve the superficial stratum corneum, have the proteolytic effect, yet not aggressive. And that you'll see with all our different types of ingredients that we have added to the designer peels to keep in line with being a responsible brand, resurfacing the skin, not peeling the skin, yet getting the results that we wanted. When you look at our smart resurfacer, there's not a traditional citric, glycolic, and lactic acid formulation. But here we wanted to offer really superior anti-aging. We looked at alpha-lipoic acid, salicylic acid, pyruvic acid, and a bit of citric. So we wanted to have a unique combination of ingredients to have the effect of a medium depth peel in the result, but not on what you see on the skin. So still no frosting, still no visible peeling of the skin. And our thermal detox, that came as a lovely trend that was even safe enough to use on our interactive skin. I mean, and that says it all. If I can use a resurfacing treatment on an interactive skin, it's got to be mild. It's got to be gentle, yet extremely effective. So our glycolic, we use it together with an amphoteric system in our peels, and we use it at a certain percentage in our general peels and at a certain percentage in the singular acid peel so that we can enhance results in a safe, effective way. Lactic acid, lovely molecular structure, large molecule, working very topically, and really also there to promote hydration, so helping with my barrier. Mandelic acid for my cell turnover at the correct pH. We have phytic acid that we specifically include because it's going to slow down the entrance of copper and iron into the skin, where we can focus on melasma, but in a very responsible, healthy way. We have tetrasodium glutamate diacetate, which we sometimes forget to mention, which is a wonderful chelating agent, but very antioxidating. And one of our promises is antioxidation. And we need to, especially to repair the barrier, you need a lot of antioxidants in the skin, especially in your peeling treatments. We use willow bark. You all know willow bark for many, many years. It's been used, a lovely, gentle acid. And just for some interest sake, I'd love to know a little more about things, is that it's actually been used even for headaches and for illnesses, and as an antiseptic. So a lovely, effective ingredient. And Nimue, of course, we use it for the wonderful antimicrobial properties and yet again, anti-inflammatory. So when you look at your peeling ingredients, I want you to understand why we chose it. First of all, see, is there anti-inflammatory benefits? Is there a benefit that's going to be gentle on my barrier, repair my barrier, yet have an effective result? Then you'll understand what to choose for that effective skin resurfacing without causing any side effects. As the laic acid, we choose because of its really wonderful, very fast effect on acne. and antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory, and antioxidant. So as you can see, apart from it being a really effective acid to use for the specific client's skin, we still have our antioxidant and anti-inflammatory benefits. Citric acid, you all know extremely well. It's been in Nimue from the beginning, and we use this because not only is it effective in conditioning the skin, but it actually is a pH adjuster. If you look at the science behind citric acid, just something interesting to know. And remember, it is important to note that not only the type of acid being used is important, but also that concentration that Nimue uses it in different peels. Marigold is not something I think, Lydia, that anybody thinks of when I think of peeling or resurfacing. It's there in the background. But we use marigold, and I'm going to go to the bottom line: anti-inflammatory, antioxidating, plumping, protecting collagen, nourishing. So if you use marigold in a certain formulation, apart from the fact that it has antibacterial and anti-inflammatory properties, making it more resurfacing than peeling, you also have anti-aging benefits, but it nourishes my skin. It has anti-inflammatory benefit. So a really important ingredient that we don't often think about in why Nimue would choose to use this. As a laic acid, citric acid, marigold, as I said, really important acids used at the right formulation and concentration. Alpha-lipoic acid, a potent antioxidant, potent in boosting collagen production, cell renewal, preventing glycation, really effective to use in a peel together with my pyruvic acid, which I love pyruvic acid because it really is very effective, but very mild on the skin. Salicylic acid we have chosen, you'll notice it in many of our new products, but we've used it in our peels before because it's a beta hydroxy acid, and it really works effectively in treating the skin, yet also decreasing inflammation. And our salicylic acid in Nimue, as you know, is oil soluble. So a lovely acid to use, anti-irritant, anti-inflammatory, and really effective on acne skin. Thermal detox, you all know well. Some people say it's a trend peel. Other people say it's the most amazing thing they've used. But this was still within the Nimue philosophy of resurfacing by using our HAs and our pumpkin enzyme in a very unique formulation to give the client's skin that wonderful thermal detox and glow. So I'm going to end with saying, yes, we started off in the terminology of a peeling brand, but we are in fact a resurfacing, responsible, ethical skin health brand. And we know that beautiful skin requires commitment and definitely not a miracle. So Lydia, any questions from your side?
No, thank you so much. Love the presentation, and I agree. It's a skin health brand, Nimue, and we love it. And we love for, I actually haven't met any other brands that have a lot of barrier repairing products. And in Nimue, we have TDSs, pre and post. And they're amazing.
It's not only in those unique specific products. If you just look at your Nimue day creams and night creams, your masks, they all there to fix your barrier and keep it fixed to get the result. And I mean, I know brands that have 30% TCA and 70% glycolic. There's severe peeling, and doctors do that. But that's not our brand. Our brand is a health brand.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Eunice. I loved your presentation. I'm going to share it with everybody in about a week.
Oh, perfect. And good luck to Australia with lockdown.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lydia. Bye-bye.